Hello everyone, this is Naima Sadiq and this is my submission for the session 2 activity, the maze game. Now here I am using a sprite that is Ladybug and a backdrop that's maze with an apple. So at the starting, I'm setting my x and y coordinates for the sprite so that whenever the game starts, the sprite is always at this starting point, and I wanted to face upward. That is why I've set the direction to 0. I have initialized a variable count to 0. This I'll be using further in the program. I'll explain you later. Now in this game we'll be using arrow keys. So for making the Ladybug move around, that is, if you want to go to the upward direction, we'll be using up arrow key, downward down arrow key, likewise left and right. So for using that, I'm giving a if condition. So if is I'm using an isPress function, and when the arrow key, means the up arrow key, is pressed, then the direction will be set to 0. That is the upward direction, and every time it's going to move 5 steps. For understanding which direction the sprite needs to move, you can get the values from here in the direction. You can move this around. Now it is on the upward direction. If you want to go right by right, you can go this way, so it will be towards the right. Now if you want to go bottom, it will be this way, towards the down. So here, if you can see, downward direction is 180. So my sprite has moved 180 degrees. Now if you want to go to left, then negative it goes, negative 90 approx to be accurate. So here, this is how the directions can be used. You can take the directions from here. So when I'm using the arrow key, that is up arrow key, it will move upward because I have set the direction to 0. Likewise, down arrow key, opposite direction, that's 180 degrees. Then left towards the negative 90, because we want to move the left direction, and right, the total opposite, that's the right arrow towards the positive 90. Now here we have the path that is guarded by these black lines. So we are using isTouchingColor function, so that specifically we can use the color to detect if the sprite is touching it or not. So here we are programming that if the sprite touches the black color, which is in the RGB format over here, 000, 0, 0, 0, and then we are mentioning what happens when it touches 0, when it touches the black color. So in this game we are basically going to make the sprite come back to the starting position if it touches the black lines. So I have actually added a counter over here, so that whenever the sprite touches the black line, until 3 times it's the game is going to work, but after 3 times it's going to say game over. So the sprite can only move around until it does not touch the black lines till the count of 3. So here I have used another if condition. So as I have initialized the count before the while loop, so here I'm using the same variable count and given a condition less than or equal to 3, because I wanted to give 3 chances to the user. Then I've incremented it after it. Then further the sprite is going to say oops for 1 second, and then the sound will be played, and then the sprite will return to the starting position. So here I've given the same coordinates that I've given at the top at the starting of the program. Then after the count of 3 is over, it's going to say game over with again it is going to play a sound, and it will break out of the loop. And this over here is when the sprite is touching the color red. These are the coordinates for the RGB coordinates for the red color. So when the sprite reaches the apple, that's the red color over here. So as the apple is on the maze itself in the backdrop, that is why we're using is touching color option, and the color red is being mentioned over here. So the sprite is going to say hooray, I won, and the sprite will there will be a sound played again, and then we'll break out of the loop. So I will now show you the execution of this program. So first I'll show you what happens when the ladybug touches the black lines over here of the maze. So let's start. It says oops, there's a sound being played, and it returns back to the starting position. Now again I'll repeat this process until our game gets over. And this will be the last one. You see, after a couple of attempts of touching the black lines, the game got over, and there was a sound being played to declare the game is over. So now again I'll restart the game, and now in actual we're going to reach the apple. So let's start the game again. Alright, so our ladybug is moving upwards direction, that is in the direction 0 degrees. Now it's moving towards the left, that is minus 90 degrees. Now here we are going to move at the right direction, that is 90 degrees. that's moving in the downward direction, that's 180 degree. So likewise, and we reached the apple. So when we win the game, as in when the ladybug touches the apple, that's the red color, it's going to say hooray, I won, and then the celebration song being played. So that is how the maze game works. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please let me know. Thank you and have a nice day.